Hello, kids! Welcome to English class. Last time, we've discussed about simple aspects of verbs. Today, we are going to discuss about perfect aspects of verbs. The perfect aspect of a verb expresses an action that is already completed. The action has already taken place. In perfect aspect, you need to know the past participle form of English verbs. And that can be pretty tricky with irregular verbs. Here are some examples of verbs and their past tense and past participles. You can also find this in your book on page 11. Here are some examples. For most verbs, the past tense and the past participle forms of the verb are the same. Let's take a look at some examples. For the verb walk, the past tense is walked, and the past participle is also walked. For the verb play, the past tense is played, and the past participle is played also. For the verb sleep, its past tense is slept. Its past participle is slept also. However, this is different for other verbs. The past tense forms and the participle forms aren't the same. These are irregular verbs. For irregular verbs, you need to memorize their past tense and past participle forms. Here are a few irregular verbs in their past tense and past participle forms. For the verb arise, the past tense is arose, and its past participle is arisen. For the verb choose, the past tense is chose, and the past participle is chosen. For the verb do, the past tense is did, and the past participle is done. For the verb drink, the past tense is drank, and the past participle is drunk. For the verb eat, the past tense is ate, and the past participle is eaten. You see the difference? Now that you know about past participle, let's start our discussion with perfect aspect of verbs. In perfect aspect of a verb, we have three tenses: the past perfect tense, the present perfect tense, and the future perfect tense. Easy to remember, right? Let's start with the past perfect tense. The past perfect expresses an action completed in the past before another action happened. The past perfect tense is talking about something that happened before something else happened. Here's the formula for past perfect tense. We use had plus the past participle form of the verb. It doesn't matter if the subject is singular or plural in the past perfect tense. The formula doesn't change. For example, I had cleaned the house when my teacher visited me. What do this sentence tell you? That the person already cleaned the house before another action happened. That is, before his teacher visited him. Are we clear? Very good. Let's proceed to the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense expresses an action that was completed sometime in the past, or is still continuing in the present. Here's the formula for the present perfect tense. It is formed by using has or have plus past participle form of the verb. You use has if the subject is singular and have if the subject is plural. Let's take a look at the example. I have cleaned the house since the day my mother went abroad. In the example, the person started to clean the house the day his mother went abroad and is still cleaning the house up until now. So, the action happened in the past and is still continuing in the present. Let's have another example. She has been to many places since she became a ballerina. In the example, she started to go to many places when she became a ballerina and is still traveling in the present. So the action happened in the past and is still continuing in the present. Let's move on to the future perfect tense. What's the future perfect tense? The future perfect describes an action that will still be completed sometime in the future. The future perfect tense is for talking about an action that will be completed between now and some point in the future. Here is the formula for future perfect tense. It is formed by using will have or shall have plus past participle form of the verb. Let's take a look at some examples. I will have cleaned the house before my teacher gets here. What does the future perfect sentence tell us here? It tells us that the person is going to clean his room sometime now, but before a certain point in the future, before his teacher arrives. Understood? That is why we've used the will have cleaned, because the sentence is talking about an action that will still be completed sometime in the future. Let's take a look at another example. The trainer will have helped him perfect his skill by the time he performs in public. What does the future perfect tell us here? It tells us that the trainer is going to help him perfect his skill sometime now, but before a certain point in the future, before he performs in public. The future perfect tense is for talking about an action that will be completed between now and some point in the future. Are we clear? Good job. Thank you for listening, kids. God bless you.